Hey everybody, it's Andy here, aka Montolio, and we are back for a Vintage League. I'm going to be playing some Bug today. If you've been following the Magic Online results in Vintage recently, Bug has been putting up some numbers, and I most definitely have a love for Bug. Definitely was probably 2+ years ago that I was playing it with some consistency and some success at the time. And it's been out of the metagame more or less ever since. It just wasn't able to compete with what was going on. But there is a resurgence, and I did play it last week in the Vintage Showcase and was fortunate enough to be able to top 8 with Bug. And if you did have an opportunity to watch that video, I have employed some of the changes that I thought could be good to the deck post showcase. And what I've removed, I'm not sure I'm going to be able to get all the cards off the top of my head here, but I have added 2 Orcish Bowmasters and 1 Spell Pierce. And what I've taken out to do that was an Opposition Agent, a Narset, and a Life from the Loam. I believe those are the only changes I've made. Life from the Loam certainly, in theory, seems very good, but it's not often that you're looking to tap out to cast a Loam. It never really worked out that I was able to use it. And the one time I did cast it, it got countered. It just sat in my hand a couple times, and I was never really wishing for it. Where I think in theory the card is good is being able to recursively be able to remove the biggest threat to this deck, which is Urza's Saga. So I'm going to try without it, and certainly Narset, like the double blue is not easy to cast in this deck, and I just found that there were times that I had it and that I wanted to cast it, I was unable to. It's not easy, certainly in the early game in this type of deck, to get three mana and let alone blue. And there's just more powerful things we could be doing with it, like Oko and Leovold. And yes, you can sit there and say, well, you got Force of Negation and Force of Will in your deck. Well, that's true, but the likelihood that I'm casting this, hard casting it, is not likely. It's there because it's a free pitch spell. So the idea behind this deck is you're just really wanting to be tapping out every turn, and when you're not, you're sitting on your death rights, free counter magic, that sort of thing. So yeah, guys, sideboard too. I did add an extra energy flux. I do think shops is on the rise right now, and energy flux was very good for me last weekend, and so we're gonna try an extra one today. As always, guys, do appreciate you hanging out. Like, comment, subscribe. We're gonna see you round one. Okay, guys, here we are, round one. Won the die roll. This opponent has several Jeskai, like straight up Jeskai results. Um, well, I guess Sylvan Library is just a really powerful card, and I know we're a little bit away from doing anything else, but we have Wasteland, some good protection, and a couple other lands if need be. And of course, if Sylvan Library resolves, it does dig us out of quite a few problems. So I am going to burn the Lotus to get the Sylvan Library. Jeskai is typically not a deck that is fast. That we have an answer to Ragavan. Perfectly reasonable keep. I don't want to call it a good hand because we don't really have a solid follow-up on turn 2, but as I say, if the Sylvan resolves, that may be good for us. Okay, our opponent is mulliganed. See if that resolves. It does. Okay. We're going to save our fetch land here in case we don't like what's on our Sylvan. It's probably a moot point because I'm very likely to pay life. If this truly is Jeskai that I'm playing against. Okay. Wow. Okay, just turn 1 Lurrus. Pretty strong. Can't do anything about it. Okay. We had a good turn one. Their turn one is a lot better looking than ours. That is not overly helpful, to be perfectly honest. Because I have a goal of playing Leovold next turn, I'm just going to have to expose the Tropical Island here. Obviously, playing Wasteland disincentivizes my opponent from wasting me, but um, we're very likely to need the mana for Leovold here, so we have to take the gamble. We're in a pretty bad spot here. Okay, Saga. I could besiege you that right now. They've got all the mana that they could possibly need. I think I'm going to do that. Get a black source here. Yeah, I can probably pay the 2 life here. I'm not very likely to have a better target here for the Urza Saga, so I just think it's worth doing it. I think there's a pretty high probability we can find a blue card and uh, a color land here. I know I'm taking myself off of casting the Leovold by using it, but I think it's fine. Yeah. Oh, they just got a Lorien revealed here. Yeah. Well, I am going to force that. I'm not happy about it. Yeah. Now they do have recurring card draw here now with the Soul Guide Lantern, should they choose to use it. Collector Roof would be a pretty good draw. Tough call. I see no reason not to play around Days. I know they have no cards in their hand here, but what'll be interesting is that they just burn their Lotus to draw off the Soul Guide. I anticipate they will. Saga? How much am I worried about Saga here? I think I'm gonna take a shot here that they're not going to find it here in the next couple turns. We have a Sylvan Library is what makes this line more viable, that we can dig a bit deeper. And if they choose to attack in with Lurrus, I will block. Yeah. So here they go. So let's see if they attack. Hmm. Okay, that worked out pretty well for me. Well, I can go to 1 life here. Or I can just pay 4 life and I can burn the death right, but I don't know that I need to do that. Like Lauren revealed is a problem, but I think I'm going to let myself dig 1 deeper here. Deathrite Shaman can gain us some life. There's a Lurrus in their yard. We have a Collector Roof. Oh no, they just ripped a Lauren revealed? Yeah. That's the gamble, right? Like, you know, they draw that, we're not looking nearly as good, but okay, well, I mean, we got punished severely there, but it was fairly low prevalence that they were going to draw something like that. But these are the type of chances that you have to take when you play a fair deck like ours. You have to gambit on uh, when your opponent is ripping off the top of their library. Like, what is the likelihood that they're going to find a spell that's going to punish you, and weigh the difference out there. Um, can put Treasure Cruise on top, but I don't really want to do that because next turn I'm going to be able to draw some cards off it. I can't take all of it though. I can take one of them. Like, what are the chances? Can I bury this Force of Vigor here and just draw off Treasure Cruise and see if that works for me? I think I'm going to gamble with that. Seems a bit crazy, I know. Oh my goodness, what am I doing? 1, 2. So what if I gain a life? 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. That does work. Barely. This is not optimal. Probably did not play this one as well as I would have liked. We got a tropical island here. And let's see if we can Treasure Cruise. Once again, we have to hope our opponent has nothing, but this is the world we're living in. They did have Force. Okay. So they're sitting back on their Saga here. And once again, we're in a holding pattern. Now we are going to have to answer that Saga token, which is an issue. But not the end all be all. Yucky. Well, we did find a strip mine. Can't keep both. So we have to get rid of the Saga first. It's going to require a chump block. Okay. We have negation up this turn. Yep. Okay. No creatures in the yard here, but life doesn't matter. We're just going to sit on the force of negation here. I will eat a land from the yard. I guess one assassin trophy is really what I've got here. Very easily could cast Force of Will here, but they realize that I'm in a chump block mode. I know 2 of my 3 cards next turn. Whew, Oko was a good one. I can turn it into a 3, but not enough. Okay. Yep. So that game was a byproduct of us losing to a turn 1 Lurrus. Don't think this is what we want. Bring in a couple answers, mainly for Urza's Saga. I don't think they're running a basic. This gives us something to Saga if they're playing a creature that we need to remove or something like that. Don't want to overdo it, but okay, let's try this out. Not a whole lot to do here. I am coming to the conclusion that Bug is not the best matchup versus the Lurrus builds, particularly the blue-black. But I feel like it has reasonable game against every deck in the format. Like, we can beat Jewel. I feel like we can beat the Bazaar strategies. Oath of Druids is a tough matchup, but that is not a big player right now in the metagame. Doomsday, we have pretty good game. But Bug is always a grind when you're playing it. Like, there's no easy matchups at all. Just everything is really close. Like, you're 55% on the favorable side of things in your matchups, or you're down 45% on your unfavorable matchups, but you can win them all. I love this feature on Magic Online now that indicates what the match score is. Yep, easy keep. So what I'm very likely to do here is we will feint with Spell Pierce here. And if we have to use it, we'll fetch an Underground Sea. And if we don't use it, and I feel like things are reasonably safe, we will cycle Lorem Revealed. I am going to counter that against my better judgment. I think it's worthwhile hitting it. I hope we don't get punished with an Ancestral Recall or something like that, but if my opponent's like cheated somehow and they're on the Mox Lorem Revealed plan, then we'll feel good about ourselves there. And we want to slow the Lurrus game down. Next turn we can cast a Leovold. And so if they counter our Bowmasters here, we're not in the worst shape here. Demonic Tutor. I'm going to let that resolve, because if they get a Force of Will, they're probably going to counter my Bowmaster, and if they get an Ancestral, I'll feel pretty good about it. Because I'm going to have two ways to stop their Ancestral here. If they get my Bowmaster, they won't be able to get my Leovold. And I could see this getting a Force of Will out of their hand. Yeah. Paradox Cloakum. Okay, so this sets us up pretty nicely here. I do think I'll keep the Passaggio in hand here and use my fetch land, further building my delve count for Treasure Cruise here. Probably could get a Bayou here. Black, green, blue. Okay, so my opponent has gutted their hand, and they did get our Leovold. And so we should be good to do a Treasure Cruise next turn, I would think. What we can do is we're pretty close to hard casting. Oh, wow. All right, well, we had the right read that they did go and get Ancestral, but they had double Force of Will in their hand, which is not easy to. They had a really strong hand here as well. So they're playing Grixis. I'm wondering if they're just on the Breach deck. Hopefully they're not digging here. Delving. Like, I liked our hand and I liked the way we set it up. We just, unfortunately, were overpowered by a double Force of Will. Let's see here. Okay. I'm going to draw first. I've now become nervous about Breach. And so I'm wondering if I need to be holding up the Passaggio here, but once again, I think I need to take a gamble here. Gonna take a gamble. If they have a Breach, I mean, they don't have a win necessarily. Oh, I guess they do have a win. If they have another, well, yeah, they do have a win because they can get a Mox, but we're so far behind here. I feel like we just have to put ourselves in a position to be able to apply pressure and the following turn be able to treasure cruise here and hold up the Seiju. I think that's our best bet. Okay. Hardcast Force of Will is here. Okay, they're not doing that. They're doing Luris. Yep. Okay, very nice. We get a bobble. Yep. So we are losing this. We're just losing the value card draw. And this is just a showcase how tough this matchup is. I do think it's quite winnable, but my opponent has had very good draws. I had a good opener in the first one, but theirs was better. Yep, they had the missed up. I'm not thrilled about this, but it is what it is. They have another force. Okay, I mean, that's pretty good. That's going to stop their engine here. And I will attack in because I have to try and win the game. They've got this mana crypt here. And if they want to trade their Luris once again for a collector roof, I think that's fine. Okay, opponent's thinking this one out. And probably a byproduct of whether they want to sacrifice their Luris here to open up their mana. They might have a Lauren revealed in hand that they're looking to cast. Of note, we can hard cast Force of Will next turn. Yep, that does work. It's pretty good for them. Oh, interesting. Okay, they do have a Lauren revealed. What's this? Force of Will? Are they going for Ancestral here? Force of Will, okay. They do have an answer to that Saga, which is the good news. Okay, well, you know, we are trading some life here. Blue card would be really nice here. So was that, jeez. Now, the problem I have here is that I need to be able to deal with the Saga. I know they have Force of Will here. So I could force with the Oko. Yeah, that's probably best, and then Beseiju their Saga here. I think that's best. I'm going to do this first because I think the enchantment here is going to make my thing bigger and put them on a mana crypt flip. Yep, it does. Guess it didn't really matter that much because my opponent had to pay the life for the force. We were still going to be able to get them, but let's hope we can win and flip here. They did win it. Damn. Once again, they're at the mercy of what's on the top of their deck here. Yep. I don't need to block this time. No need to attack with this either. It puts them at net positive mana. Oh, they get a Bowmaster. It says address down. Okay. Oh, crazy. Really nice. All right. They didn't kill my Goyf. They did see that one. Okay. But now I have the problem of recurring sagas. But they're on a flip. Hmm. Yep. So it was breach. That ices me. I don't think I can win from here. Dress down is a good card. It's been a problem for me since it's printing. Style of decks I like to play it. Well, not against my Bazaar decks, it doesn't matter, but against my creature decks, it certainly is a problem. Like, I shouldn't say that. A hybrid, because Cradle Mine, it does get my collector roof, and it's gotten me many times, shutting off my collector roof. And certainly against Bug, very good. Make my opponent show me here what they're up to. If they know what they're doing. Really what they should be doing is demonic tutoring for Lotus. And then demonic tutoring again for brain freeze and it's over. Okay, that does work too. Yep, okay, good game. Okay guys, here we are in round 2. Haven't seen Phantom Man in a while, but I know they like to play Bazaar, but certainly are not limited to that. This hand is a little bit awkward, but has a force of will. I am on the play with a daze. I think I'll keep it. A couple wastelands makes this viable, certainly if we're playing against Bazaar. Guess I'll get a tropical island because I would like days on. Oh, interesting. Okay, so they are likely Bazaar if they're forcing this. My break trap. And I do like protecting my tropical here. I'm going to play out my Lotus. Case of Chalice. This feels like a squee deck. Hopefully I draw something that's green next turn that I can cast alongside the Collector Roof. Or cast. Let me rephrase that. Hopefully I draw a green creature of some sort, because what I would likely end up doing is, if there's a squee in the yard, cracking my Lotus to get it. And so I could better utilize my Black Lotus, because almost assuredly I will be wastelanding their Bazaar here. But let's see. Okay, Root Wall as I can handle. Hollow One is a little bit tougher. So they discarded a Bazaar. Okay, no Hollow One, which is good. They got a Vigor here. We have Noxious Revival covered right now. I don't think they would have discarded the Bazaar if they didn't have another one. No attacks here. That was pretty much the worst draw in my deck. Um, no reason to expose my land there. I could have wastelanded their wasteland, but that's not probably what I want to be doing. Really would like to find a Leovold or a Bowmaster. Not going to start getting rid of their Bazaars until I have a force up here, so they can't Noxious Revival in response. Okay, I don't think I'm going to cast a Collector Roof here. I don't think I need to do that right yet. I did it in the main. I don't think I want to expose my other land here. It's not worth it. I'm just content to sit around. I might be a little bit passive here, but I really just want to ensure that I have that Bazaar covered. I don't really want them to have a Bazaar, despite I have the Wasteland in my hand. Like, if I can protect myself with a negation Or excuse me, okay, Bowmaster makes this a lot better for me. What I could do is I could cast a Collector Roof here with the Bowmaster. I think thing is, do I want force backup for that? Probably. I'm not under pressure to do anything here. I realize that every card they draw, they could be drawing themselves into a force of will as well, but they need to stop my stuff here, and I can flash the Bowmaster. How much do I care about this? Do I just flash it in? No. I don't know if we're winning here or not, but oh, I guess I have to go a Bayou here now. Not thrilled to expose myself, but my land to a wasteland is not optimal. They do have force of will. I think the Bowmaster's good enough in this type of a matchup that I'm happy to resolve it. Get rid of that. So the question is, do I want to take a gamble here? I don't think so. Noxious Revival is just too good. I don't know. Maybe I'm just playing this too tentatively, guys. Guess I'm going to cast a Collector Roof here. Get my clock going, and then we can start draining. Like the issue is that I just am really not comfortable opening myself up to a Noxious Revival. Sure, you can have it. Yeah, feel free to leave comments in the video there as to how you would approach this. I'm obviously playing around Noxious Revival at all turns here. I think they baited with that one, with the Wasteland to take me off my green source, but I'm not using it anyways. Yep, okay, so they maybe have found another Bazaar. But we are chipping away now. Great draw. Tarmogoyf is pretty strong here. I expect the revival now. No? Okay. Okay. They conceded. Okay. I feel like we played that really well. We didn't give them the out of giving them the free Noxious Revival on the Bazaar. Leyline is pretty good in this matchup. I do think a couple Force of Vigors also is pretty good, but let's see. We might need that lower in our field, but we'll come back to that. I think this is just another Force of Vigor target. Collector Roof is not where we want to be here. Don't think we want Fatal Push. Yep. There is some merit to a Mindbreak Trap. Trying to get them on a hollow one. What could we take out? I do think Force of Vigor is somewhat important in these types of matchups because an early hollow one really does apply a lot of pressure to us, and being able to remove it is a nice luxury to have. It takes a lot of pressure off us. Spell Pierce is okay. I actually just don't mind Daze in this matchup. Even on the draw, it seems fine to me. Especially because we're trying to protect this. Maybe I can just take out an Oko here. I'm just bringing a Mindbreak Trap. Oko's pretty hard to cast, particularly on the draw. I like this. Well, I do think this is a keep. It's a bit sketchy, but what makes this viable is the mental misstep. We can strip mine their Bazaar, we have their Noxious Revival covered, and if they don't have too powerful of a start, we might be able to get to Tarmogoyf if we can protect one land with the Polluted Delta and find our way into the forest into a Tarmogoyf, and it should be strong enough to hold them at bay. Now, this is contingent on my opponent not having a super broken hand. Like, they've kept a 7 here. Hollowbind is really tough when they keep their 7s. Triple squee, yep. So that's good insofar as that they have a Bazaar. If they don't have a Bazaar, then they may not. They may just have a Noxious Revival and we have an answer to it. They did not have a Revival. Yep, very nice. Okay. I love that tech, Echoing Deeps. It'd be nice if they gave us a break this turn. Yep. Okay, that's a break. Like that. Nice. Okay. That's not good. I guess I have to Assassin's Trophy that. That was not great. It's just so much value if I don't try and do it. Hmm. I think there's a very high probability that they have negation in hand. Yeah, Flash Bowmasters in. Cast Tarmogoyf next turn. Okay, there's my Bowmaster. Could have a Pyrokinesis here, but Double Vine is going to be really tough for me to beat. It's a lot of power coming through. 7 cards in hand. Yep. Let's see if they have a hollow one. Oh, Fury. Okay, that's better than a hollow one. Okay, well, this one, I guess we're pretty much lost here. I mean, we'll see if they wasteland me. Yeah, this is likely not good enough. We're going to go down to 1. Tarmogoyf doesn't really help. Yeah, they got us here. Okay, that was a really good game from them there. I mean, Fury was the key for them, and the 3 Bazaars they found, but that's the beauty of the tech they're playing. I still think Force of Vigor is worth having as a pitch spell here. Now, being play draw in this matchup is pretty important. Ugh, I don't think we can keep this one. No, we got to do better. Yeah, this one's better. Need our lands. Yeah, we'd love to keep the 7. We can't. Maybe I can just dump Force of Will. I'd really like to be able to protect my ley line, though. It's pretty important. put the Goyf away? It's close. I don't want my strip mine getting wastelanded. Nice. This makes echoing deeps a lot worse too, of note, so they can copy my tropical here. It's a great one if I can find a blue source. So we're not going to play this right now because if they have Force of Vigor, we can do this. They have to do it during our turn, but otherwise we can do it in their upkeep. And they can't Force of Vigor. And let's just hope we can resolve it. We don't have to do this now, but I do think it's worth it. Phenomenal draw. We also have Noxious Revival and Force of Vigor covered here. Feel pretty good about that. Mm-hmm. Well, do I just try and cast Oko here? I think it's just better to cast. Oko is so broken though. Yeah, I think I'm going to gamble here. Oh, can I? Because I'm going to get strip mine. What I can do here is I can actually time walk. Yeah, I like that. Okay, they're just F6. Let's find another blue source here. Okay, Tarmogoyf. That's not ideal. I'm going to cast the Oko here. I think I can gamble. Yeah, okay, that paid off. Okay, not so great now because I can't I don't have a spell pierce up, but I mean, that's fine. Beautiful. Do I just want to get a Goyf in here? Just kind of move completely to the aggro? I think so. Once again, it's a gamble, but I think it's worth it. Okay, keep dodging that vigor is just so good for me. This just buys time. They can kill my Goyf here. If they vigor here, I have the spell pierce still. Oh, Daze is really nice too. And that allows me to cast my Tarmogoyf with counterspell backup. And this should close the game out. We have Fury covered. Insofar as I don't play a land first, that produces mana to pay for our days. Okay, nice win. Okay, guys, here we are in round 3. Oh boy. Riverboat gambling, folks. That's what I got. I just don't think it's worth going to 5. Like, Bug is a deck that requires a critical amount of mana to be, or cards to be able to work properly. Unless you're specifically mulliganing to a sideboard hate card or something like that. That's awful. Okay. A Revoker and Null Rod does me in pretty good here. Mycosynth Gardens. Wow, we're playing a Dreadnought. If that's the case, if they play a Dreadnought, and they can do it, they can make the Dreadnought stick, I would need a fetch land. Okay. Fetch land would be sweet regardless here. Wow, we're getting hosed, guys. Gonna get in there. It's not too often you see a Deathrite Shaman attack through a Phyrexian Germ token. I do apologize, guys. My allergies are going off a little bit here. Crucible, okay. Force of Vigor wouldn't be so bad. Huh. Okay. Ghost Quarter Crucible is only so good when you don't have any lands to target. It's a lot of manas. So we did bring in the extra energy flux into our sideboard for this particular league. So we got some good tools here. So that's the combo. They get a Dreadnought, Phyrexian Dreadnought, and then they do the Mycosynth Gardens combo, which is a big old boy. And so is this. We can take that hit. Let's see if we find a vigor here. Didn't. Good Demonic Tutor here. Yeah, this one's gone. This one's too far gone. I could go get a Force of Vigor. It's just, it doesn't do enough. Opponent's at 9 life. I could see wanting Mindbreak Trap. Not sure how many Assassin trophies we want, but we'll bring them in for now. What don't we want here? Bowmaster is poor. Don't mind Tarmogoyf, but I don't think it's actually what I'm looking to do here. Mental Misstep is not great. I do think Sylvan Library is worth keeping if I'm able to do it. Lore Unrevealed, I think, is important from a mana denial perspective. Maybe I don't need all these trophies. Try this. Collector Roof is just okay. Yep. See if I can get myself up to an Oko on turn 2. It'd be really solid. And probably get green here. Yeah, Trop's fine. You know, if they go like play a Moxen or a Evoker or something, that'll be enough to incite me to do it, because I'll get my Force of Vigor will be good enough value. If it's just Revoker, I'm not thrilled about it, but okay. Yep. So I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to Force a Vigor, I'm going to kill the Mox and the Revoker. I will Wasteland their Saga, and then I will cast another Deathrite Shaman. And if I draw a Mox or something, it's awesome, because I can still cast Oko. The other option is I could leave the Saga for a turn. Or I can hit the Saga. Maybe I do just hit the Saga here. Save myself any trouble. That way I can cast Oko. Yeah, I like that. Okay. So there's a Wasteland. And Deathray Shaman is pretty good against Crucible of Worlds. I'm not going to take their mocks here. I don't think it's necessary. Sphere, Revoker. Yeah, a little disappointed that they found another Revoker there, but okay. Not optimal. Not optimal. I think I sit back on the death rate here until I have my second one active. I'd like to take their land away if they do somehow get a Crucible into play. Ooh, that's vicious. Wow. Well, I'm not happy about this. My opponent has gummed me up here pretty good, but not much I can do about it. Force of Vigor fixes this pretty nicely. Okay, this is not optimal. Just attack with one. Be happy if they made the trade there, which of course wouldn't happen. All right. One thing I will say about a Bowmaster is it does remove Revokers. Collector Roof is just so clunky on the draw. Maybe I'd be bringing in for that reason alone. As you can see in that particular game, the Revokers were quite impactful. Okay, probably okay. Probably okay. We have the ability to cast a turn 1 Force of Vigor. I mean, we can pitch or we can actually cast it. We have Force of Will. Obviously, we're a little bit short on gas here. I don't think I'm likely to pitch my Deathrite Shaman because it's so good against Crucible. Chalice on 1. Yep. They play a Sphere. Thorn, yeah. Pretty pleased to draw the Wasteland there. I do realize that I'm shut out for this turn under the Thorn, but I think it's probably worth the gamble. Next turn I can cast Leovold, which is really nice. Okay, yep. Yeah, I'm casting Leovold. I once again come off Force here, but I think that's okay. This protects my lands insofar as that if they do decide they want to Wasteland something, they have to go through my Leovold. I will draw cards. In the showcase last weekend, in my round 8 against a Workshop's opponent, Leovold single-handedly won me game 3. They had like multiple Ghost Quarters and Wastelands on the table, and none of them mattered because Leovold was going to draw me a whole bunch of cards. And the basic was very important in that particular match because they were on 4 Ghost Quarter, or presume they were on 4 Ghost Quarter anyways. Their other lists on MTG Goldfish showed that. Oko, it's a pretty good pick. Okay, I do like that. Go get a black source here. Yeah, we're winning this race. Probably will Vigor here. See what happens. No, do it. Leovold. End my basic. Fortunately, I have to draw first. In case I hope I don't draw my basic, but just such a backbreaker when somebody does that. And I get to draw the card, and I have the land, so it's like they lose a land. I get one. I maintain my land because I get another one, and I get to draw a card. So powerful. So what do I want to do here? My opponent is stuck under their own thorn here. I think what I probably want to do is I probably want to kill the Chalice, and I think one of their Moxen. I don't have an Oko right now, so I think this is the way to do it. And this Once I start getting Deathrite Shamans going, it's pretty powerful against their Crucibles, amongst having other mana to cast things. I do think I'm going to do it now. Yeah, I'm gonna, if they have like a Sol Ring, I mean, that's not good for me, but this way it robs them of the mana. And if I have to force a will, I will. Okay. Now, Spell Pierce should be pretty good against their deck here, I would think. So we might get some value out of this. And if not, it just pitches to force a will. Ooh, that was a nice draw. I think I can gamble here. I don't think they're going to block. They didn't attack. They're scared I have an Oko in my hand. Now I don't think I'll do it again, but see if we can find a wasteland or something good. It's not bad. All right, I feel like we've got this. We haven't got 100% locked up, but I feel pretty good about it. Ooh, that's one of the few cards that was good. All right, well, maybe spoke a little bit too soon. And I don't have the ability to drain them here, which is problematic. All right, well. Maybe spoke a little out of turn there, guys. A black source should ice it for me. Yeah, there it is. Okay, that's probably enough here. Now, I can't get wastelanded. That's the only thing. Woohoo, they did find it. But once again, wastelanding, it comes at a price with Leovold in play here. Is this thing live? It is, yeah. Of course it's live. Get a black source. Don't think it really matters. They have to wasteland me right now. Oh, they let me untap. Okay, well. All right. Should have done it there. I'd be curious to know whether I would have drawn another swamp on my next two cards. I'm not going to find out. Okay. This hand is a little bit clunky. We're on the draw. I guess I'll keep it. No Luris reveal, which is good. Okay, Jewel. Okay, that's probably not great for me, by the way my hand is set up here. One ring, nope. Oko, okay, well, can cast a turn one Oko. good this is, I don't know, but I'm going to turn their Black Lotus into something. Oh, they have Force. Okay. It's not good for me. One card in hand, though. If it's Belcher, it sucks for me, but maybe they got an Ancestral and they wanted to save it for their Seagate so they didn't burn their Lotus. That's a good one. Yep. Not great, but I mean, if they don't have something here, and they don't. Oh, I'm going to get to steal a jewel, guys. Oh, this is so exciting for me. What? Got a PO? I can't stop it. No! All right, let's hope here. I do have a force of will to stop what they're doing. The likelihood they have a force here is not high, considering they had one already. So I still have another crack at this jewel. Maybe not. I don't know. I'm countering this for sure. Oh my goodness. Yeah, pretty good. That was just a perfect follow-up. At least I couldn't cast a jewel there. Okay. Hmm. I think I'm going to have to, unfortunately, besiege you their workshop. I mean, it's awkward. This does give them a basic. They have a basic in their deck here, but I just have to try and keep them off the jewel until I find a blue card from my Force of Will. Wow, I thought we were going to get that jewel there, but they really just had a perfect storm. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Yeah, all right. They got me. Let's see if they don't draw something here. Once again, they may not. I know they only have one Ottawa in their deck, that's for sure. Or it would be non-conventional if they had more. Okay. Three cards. Wonder if they're just going to cast a ring here. That would suck too, but at least if we get the Kobita Jewel, we're going to get to draw three cards. Okay. My opponent must have something because they're otherwise this is really weird what they're doing. They're being so pensive about what their plays are. Just no, there's another jewel. Oh, for crying out loud. What took so long for them to figure that out? Kind of silly. So this one's over. There's nothing I can do here. I did play against Jewel a couple times last weekend, and was fortunate enough to beat it, but they were really close games. Like, this was a high roll from my opponent here. They had a really nice setup this game to circumvent what I was doing. It's a lot of cards in hand. Yep. Yeah, I mean, they've drawn 25 more cards than I have here. I am a bit annoyed here. My opponent is fooling around, almost assuredly, but let them have their fun here for a minute. I would like them to show me that they have another PO, or that they're going to block my, put a metamorph down or something like that. It is not all that conceivable that they don't have. What? So I guess I'm glad I waited, because I was going to draw 12 cards off their coveted jewels. Okay, well, that's why you don't concede right away, guys. Yikes. I don't know how that happened. I almost feel bad for my opponent there. So they transform into a creature deck here. Bowmaster is fine. Tarmogoyf is not what we're looking to do here. Oko can turn Wormcoil into an elk, but we can't get the Masticore. Really, we don't have any answers to the Masticore outside of Vigor and Boseiju. Obviously, Energy Flux is just phenomenal. Don't feel like Mental Misstep is offering me enough in this particular matchup, and I don't think Daze is good either. Sylvan Library, I think, is fine. I do think it's reasonable to keep an Assassin's Trophy. And I don't think Lore Revealed is important. So let's try this out. I've lowered my blue count a little bit, but I think it's all right. Sometimes your opponents just don't draw the right cards, and how my opponent did not draw something relevant is quite astounding. Now, this hand just is not good enough. Much better. Okay, so I kind of need to have the 2 lands. I think having Vigor up is good. Just can't have it all, but my game plan is to get Energy Flux into play, and I need land to do that. Jewel is going to have a very difficult time getting through Energy Flux. Not to say it can't be done, but it's hard for them. So this Pithing Needle, okay. Wasteland. kind of, I don't have anything now, right? Like I don't have force of vigor or uh, force of will now, but I just feel like the energy flux is my plan here. I've kept this hand based on it, so I have the third land now, but we just have to hope we don't get buried before then. There's a ring. Yeah, we're likely to lose before we can get the flux down, but not 100%. Like a collector roof would be wonderful here. A mox. Yuck. Green card even would have been good there, but it is what it is. Probably buried here. Maybe a bit of a trap hand we kept there. Perhaps I should have pitched the energy flux so I could have had vigor up. I don't think in this particular circumstance it would have worked, but oof. Academy. It's one of the few cards that completely circumvents my energy flux. Well, not completely, but it does hurt my flux a lot. Well, okay. Well, okay. Wasteland would be decent. Okay, well, we can hard cast Force of Vigor next turn. I still am losing this game pretty badly. But Energy Flux does lift a lot of weight against these style of decks. If I can ever get rid of that Tolarian Academy, like if my opponent lets their needle go, which I do believe they will, I might have a chance. They can keep 3 of their 5 artifacts. Oh, PO. Well, that was sweet. Oh, okay. My vigor's back on here. I don't know that I want to pitch my Oko, but it is on. That was sweet. But they got to be careful here because of if I find a wasteland, strip mine, besiege you, Assassin's Trophy. I'll take my lick for 6 here. The defense grid gives me the ability to potentially resolve one of my spells. Maybe. Mm-hmm. Here comes the ring. Academy is a broken card, folks. And of note, they have just enough mana to You know, they have enough mana to counter what I'm doing, which is awkward. No, I mean, that's what I'm doing. That is their engine to be able to mess with what I'm doing. So we'll get rid of that Academy. And hopefully they have to get rid of their defense grid here. Otherwise, I just lose, I guess, to the worm coil. 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Yeah. They probably will pay for their grid here, and I just die. But if they make the mistake of letting the grid go, yeah, I'm dead here. Yeah, struggling with all the triggers here. Please pay your Lotus tax. They did not. You will not pay that, I'm sure. That's the weakest of their stuff. See if they pay their defense grid here. Oh, they let the grid go. Oh, that's really good for me. Wow. What's awkward here is I have to pitch the Oko and then I'm dealing with the aftermath, but they're going to lose all of their stuff here. More or less. No, I do realize they have a one ring here and stuff that they can get going, but wow, that was really fortuitous for me. No, my opponent's got a total mitt full here, but I mean, what are you going to do, right? And of course, they could have Force of Will on top of this, so they gave me a chance where I didn't have a chance earlier, so hopefully it resolves. No, they have a Force, okay. Okay. Close! We almost got there. Our opponent gave us an out where I didn't think we had one. There was no reason that they shouldn't have left that defense grid there to ensure that they were going to be able to employ their plan. Yeah, I might need this second trophy here. Treasure Cruise is probably... You know, I just can't keep lowering my blue count. That's the issue. Do you like Sylvan Library on the play? Maybe I can cut Probe. Once again, really crappy. You know what I'm going to do? Bring my Probe back. Oh no, I missed my chance here. I was going to take out a Forest. That was a bit of a mistake. Well, I have my best card here, and I can actually cast it on turn 2. This hand's a bit clunky, but my hope is that I don't have to use my Ancestral here and I draw into a blue next turn. Pass turn. I don't feel confident in this game. I maybe should have mulliganed. Dismember? That's what that feels like, but we're going to get the Ufin. Okay, they had it. Okay, it's a jewel. Our force should resolve. Worm coil, oh no. Black mana lets us get energy flux. Just a turn too late, unfortunately. I literally have no play here. Okay, well. We have 4 turns here, 3 to find something. Okay, that is helpful. It's going to be close. I can also Bowmaster here too. Like, let's just hope I find a blue mana source off the top. Ring. Yep, that's not happening. I feel like I need to use the Ancestral here. We're going to have to hope here. Oof, jeez. Well, this could chump block. I think what I need to do here is I'm going to Ancestral Recall. Try and set myself up to draw some goodness here. Okay, well, this is not optimal, but Bowmaster is solid. And I have a force to back it up. Yep. Can I wasteland my opponent here? The thing is, if I find a land next turn, I'm not going to do it. I can Demonic and play Energy Flux. Yep. You got force. That's just rude. PO. Okay. Come on, blue mana. Assassin Trophy's not bad here. Man, my collector roof is pretty good too. Maybe I just do that. Maybe I just demonic tutor. Then collector roof. I can energy flux the following turn. Yep. Just jump for a turn. Not optimal, but we are still alive. I guess I could have taken the hit there, couldn't I have? Gone to 1, but it turns off fetches and forces. Deathrite Shaman doing the Lord's work here, folks. Yeah, I guess this puts me to 1. So probably good I didn't do that last turn. I guess I could have done it this turn. Maybe didn't play this optimally, but if they don't have another mana source here, they're going to lose everything next turn. They could have paid 2 to keep their mocks around. Better for Academy if they did, but oof, come on. Saga, yep. So I chump block with this. Do I wasteland them here? Take their Saga away? And then when they pay for this, I'm at 1 life, so I got to be careful here. So what I can do is I can wasteland their Ancient Tomb. And they pay with their Saga. Not really crazy about that, though. But what ends up happening is if I find another land off the top the following turn, I can double flux. If I don't, it's a bummer, because it puts me in a mode where I have to chump block again. But that might be all right. I'm just not sure which one to kill here. This can get Soul Ring, Lotus, get me a Pithing Needle shutting off my Deathrite. Remember, fetches are shut off for me. Unless this thing dies and I can gain a couple life, which is viable. not sure what's right here. They got dismember? Oh, they do too. Do I just cast another one right now? And just chump with it? No, I think I just, same thing, I just Assassin's Trophy this thing in the upkeep. Yep. After they've paid for it. Oh, you know what I could have done is I could have Assassin's Trophy their Ancient Tomb. That was dumb, wasn't it? Oh boy, not playing tight here. It's awkward now because they're going to go get a basic. So we're going to need to find a land here. Yeah, that was a big mistake on my part. Oh no, what's this? They got a jewel? No. That was a pretty good way of playing around my stuff, I guess, huh? I can do it, but I die. 1, 2, 3, 4. Yeah, they get me exactly. Double flux doesn't do it. Yeah, I threw the game there. Well, not necessarily I didn't throw it. What am I talking about? They would have lost the worm coil. Yeah, no, but they still would have been able to pay for it, right? Like they would have had the 2 tokens. Yeah, and then they could have paid for the 2 tokens following turn. Yeah, so I didn't make a big mistake there. Hmm. Yeah, they got me. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. They only need 8 mana to pay for these. I can double chump block. Maybe I do that. Yeah, guess that's what we're doing. Guess they can't keep everything around with this. They 1, 2, 3, 4. Yeah, they can. They can pay exactly. Yeah, they kind of just had the perfect storm there, to be honest. But if I do hit a land here, I guess no, that doesn't work. They can still keep one around. Yeah, just perfect for them. I guess I made a mistake. Where my mistake was, and hindsight's 2020, but as I should have hit the Ancient Tomb with the Wasteland instead of the Saga. This Ancient Tomb has been doing weight against my energy flux. No, Academy, okay. Yep. I mean, we held on there. It was close. It was close. We did our best, guys. The double flux is just not enough here, unfortunately. Yeah, I have to go back and watch this one. I don't know if I played this optimally, but it was a really good match, though. I mean, dual sideboard playing is what makes this deck viable, in my opinion. The ability to go for big creatures, and sometimes they just get you. That was not the approach we were ready for. We had the Force of Negation in hand, not the Force of Will. Anyways, good game. We'll see you guys next round. Okay, guys, here we are in round 5. We're playing Fire Truck. Most recently, they've been playing Dredge. Force of Will back up here. Unfortunately, I guess we have the Bowmaster off the Lotus, which is pretty good, and a Strip Mine. So I'll keep this. I mean, if they're on Dredge, it's probably not good enough, but like, what am I going to do? Mulligan to a Deathrite Shaman and hope that we hit the right mana? Like, doesn't seem like a really good thing to be doing. And we got, in addition to that, we have a hollow one wrapped up. So I do like that. Now, this is presuming my opponent is on Dredge. I don't know that they are, but not too often a Bowmaster is really good against Dredge. And to be clear here, we're going to lose this game. There's no doubt about it. But oh, Vines! I haven't seen Vines in a while. Okay. Well, I'll tell you, Bowmaster is a lot better against Vine decks than it is Dredge. Yep, just another Chalice target. Do they have the hollow one? There's one. Fury, nice. Okay. Can't stop the Vine. I can stop the Fury, though. Hopefully it's not Noxious Revival they have here, but I do think I blocked the Bowmaster, or the Vengevine with the Orc. Let's get in. And we have to fade another Bazaar or Noxious Revival. I mean, that would be a hell of a hand they had if they did have one of those, but I mean, they did have a hell of a hand in general, but Not going to fetch, you're going to protect my land. Okay, well, we've got a couple mana now, which is great. Ooh, that's a good one too. All right, they've got their Bazaar back here. Leovold really hurts them though. If I find another land here that can cast Leovold, that's so good for me. I mean, I have to play my stuff here. It maybe is a little dangerous not to get a black source there, but I really want to have double green for Deathrite if I find it. Let's see what they find here. We are not out of the woods by any means here in this game. Each activation of Bazaar, that said, is significantly impacted by okay, holo one. Okay, that was a good draw. They are holding us back though. That's unfortunate. Okay, that's good. See if we can get her through a force of will here. I'll probably get a Bayou this time. Wish I can get a drop. This is a really good one if it resolves. Yeah. All right. It's not worth me attacking here. That's the issue. Ooh, that was a good one. See if I can resolve it. Exactly 8. All right. Well, I did not think we were going to win that game. Beg your pardon, excuse me. Yep, this is good. Beautiful. Making my opponent play fair with Leyline, and we've got Tabernacle to clean up any turn one mess they may have. They're going to wasteland me here almost assuredly. They got their hit. I will fight over the Ancestral with all likelihood here. Feel like we need some help. Okay, yeah, you got my land, but we have a whole bunch of lands now, and that strip or wasteland is really nice. Takes away the Echoing Depths. Okay, that was a nice one. We can protect our ley line if need be. Okay, we've got nice discard and ley line. Like when you're the Squee opponent does not have access to the recursion of Squee and Master of Death, it really hurts the deck a lot. Like it has the capability of getting through ley line. There's no doubt about that, but it versus something like Cradlevine, which is not as reliable on its graveyard. Obviously, it's build dependent, but I have a substantial amount of experience with both both those style decks. The beatdown is on. All right, and the nice thing for us is that we've got an adequate amount of land that we're going to be able to pay for our Tabernacle if they are able to do something. And this should set off our Treasure Cruise next turn. They probably have counter magic, but I think that's okay. I don't see a reason not to do this here. Why take damage unnecessarily? I guess I'll get my basic here. So we always have a mana. Oh, look what I did. Isn't that something? My opponent is going to think, what a feint on my part, but really just poor ability to go and find the appropriate mana. Deathrite Shaman's a nice one. Fury is something we need to be aware of here, but could Treasure Cruise, but we'll hold the Bowmaster up for another turn anyways. It's just such good value if it works. And of course, if they put something out with the Bazaar, like a hollow one or more root wallows, of course, the Tabernacle becomes a lot more viable. Okay. So a reasonable 3-2 here. Lost a really close one to Jewel, and we lost to Blue Grixis um, Luris, Luris Breach. And yeah, otherwise, I mean, this deck is a grind. Every deck you're playing against, you're going 3 games, and I feel like, as I said earlier, it's kind of, got good, not good matchups. It's got even matchups against almost everything, and it's never skewed past, being 55% favored or 45% on the wrong side of that. I just think Bug is reasonably well positioned right now, and certainly we could have had a 4-1 there. And yeah, guys, I don't really think I'd make any changes to the deck right now. It just feels really good to me. Um, White Initiative, I didn't see any of it last weekend. I didn't see any in this league. Maybe I'm giving it too much respect with something like Night of Infamy for, we can put in there's a lot of cards I'd love to put in the sideboard in its slot. So that's something I would consider, as I'm not seeding a lot of initiative right now. But otherwise, the deck feels real solid. Yeah, guys, appreciate you hanging out. Like, comment, subscribe. We'll see you soon.